A truck driver passes through a quarantine checkpoint near a biotech facility. The workers tell him it is only a small leak, nothing serious. But a few minutes later, something strange happens on the road. An animal hit by his truck suddenly begins to move again. Nobody understands it yet, but this is the first sign that something terrible has already escaped. And soon, one normal train ride to Busan will become a nightmare. The story follows Seok Woo, a busy fund manager who spends most of his life at work. He is smart, successful, and always thinking about money, but as a father, he is almost never present. His daughter, Suan, lives with him, but she wants to go to Busan to see her mother. It is her birthday, and the only thing she really wants is not a toy or a gift. She just wants her father to take her to her mom. Seok Woo tries to delay it, like he always does. But Suan already knows his excuses. She tells him that he always says, next time, and that next time never really comes. That night, Seok Woo realizes he has been failing his daughter. He missed her school performance, he gave her the same gift twice, and he barely knows what she feels. So finally, he agrees to take her to Busan by train the next morning. But what should have been a simple father-daughter trip is about to become the most dangerous journey of their lives. On the way to the station, they see emergency vehicles rushing through the city. Something is already wrong outside, but nobody on the train understands how serious it is. At the station, different passengers board the train. There is a high school baseball team, a pregnant woman and her tough husband, two elderly sisters, a selfish businessman, and many ordinary people who just want to reach their destination. At first, everything looks normal. People talk, argue, joke, and sit in their seats. But just before the train leaves, a wounded young woman secretly gets on board. She is shaking, she is terrified, and she is already infected. The doors close, the train starts moving, and now everyone on board is trapped with her. A train attendant notices something strange in the bathroom. A homeless man is hiding there, terrified, repeating that everyone is dead. At first, people think he is crazy, but then the infected girl collapses in one of the cars. A worker tries to help her, not realizing she is already turning into something inhuman. Seconds later, the first attack happens. The infection spreads fast. One person becomes two, two become five. Then an entire train car turns into chaos. Passengers scream and run through the narrow aisles, but there is almost nowhere to escape. The infected move fast, attack anything they see, and every person they catch becomes one of them. Seok Woo grabs Suan and runs. For the first time, his money, his job, and his status mean nothing. The only thing that matters is keeping his daughter alive. Seok Woo, Suan, the pregnant woman, Seong Kyung, and her husband Sang-hwa manage to escape into another car. But Seok Woo makes a selfish choice. He shuts the door before everyone else can get through. Sang-hwa survives, but he is furious. He knows Seok Woo left him and his pregnant wife behind. Then the survivors notice something important. The infected are extremely aggressive, but they do not seem smart. They attack when they see people, but they do not know how to open certain doors. This becomes the first rule of survival. Stay out of sight, stay quiet, and never let the infected reach the door. For a moment, the survivors think they can control the situation. But outside the train, the entire country is falling apart. News reports describe riots and violence across major cities. The government calls it civil unrest, but the passengers know this is not a normal riot. Then Seok Woo calls his mother. At first, she sounds confused and scared. Then her voice changes. He understands what happened before anyone says it out loud. His own mother is infected. Suan watches her father break down, but there is no time to grieve. The train keeps moving, and the conductor announces that they will stop at Daejeon, where the military is supposed to protect them. For the first time, the passengers believe they may have found safety. Seok Woo secretly calls a contact in the military. He learns that the passengers will be quarantined when they arrive. But when they arrive, the station is silent. Too silent. Instead of warning everyone, he tries to escape with only Suan through a different exit. But Suan sees what kind of choice he is making. She tells him he only thinks about himself, and that this is why her mother left him. Those words hurt him because he knows they are true. Then the truth appears in front of them. The soldiers who were supposed to protect the station have already been infected. The survivors run back to the train as the station becomes a trap. People fall behind, friends get separated. The passengers who thought they were walking into safety now realize there is no safe place left. The train leaves Dijon, but not everyone makes it back on board, and now the survivors are separated across different cars. The conductor announces that the train will continue all the way to Busan without stopping. Busan may be the last city still holding its defense, but Seok-woo gets a phone call that changes everything. Suan is alive, but she is trapped in a bathroom with Seong-kyung in car 13. Seok-woo is in car 9. The other survivors are in car 15. Between them are several cars full of infected passengers. Sang-hwa knows this is almost impossible. Even if they fight through the infected, they still need to bring Suan and Seong-kyung back safely. But Seok-woo has no choice. For the first time in the movie, he stops thinking like a selfish businessman and starts acting like a father. Seok-woo, Sang-hwa, and the young baseball player, Yong-guk, prepare to move through the infected cars. Sang-hwa goes first. He is strong, fearless, and ready to fight. Yong-guk follows. Seok-woo stays behind them, still learning what courage really means. They discover another rule. The infected cannot see well in the dark. When the train passes through tunnels, the infected freeze or lose direction. This gives the survivors a small chance. They use the tunnels, phone sounds, timing, and teamwork to move car by car. Every second matters. Every mistake could get them trapped. During this mission, Seok-woo begins to change. Sang-hwa mocks him for being a fun manager, someone who survives by stepping over others. But he also teaches him something important. Being a father means sacrifice, and for the first time, Seok-woo listens. While the rescue group fights their way forward, the passengers in car 15 learn they are coming. But instead of helping them, the selfish businessman turns everyone against them. He tells the passengers they might be infected. He makes fear stronger than compassion. When Seok-woo, Sang-hwa, Yong-guk, Suan, and Seong-kyung finally reach the door, the people inside refuse to open it. Sang-hwa uses the last of his strength to hold back the infected while the others escape. He tells Seok-woo to take care of his wife and remember the name of his unborn daughter. Then he sacrifices himself. This is one of the most important moments in the story. The infected are dangerous, but the movie shows that fear can turn ordinary people into something almost as cruel. The survivors make it through, but they lose Sang-hwa because the other passengers were too afraid to help. After everything they went through, the survivors expect safety. Instead, the passengers in car 15 force them into the vestibule. They do not care that Suan is a child. They do not care that Seong-kyung is pregnant. They only care about protecting themselves. The elderly sister watches this cruelty and understands something painful. Her kind sister died helping others, while these people survived by abandoning them. So she makes a choice. She opens the door. The infected rush in, and the selfish passengers who rejected everyone else are finally destroyed by the fear they created. This moment shows the heart of the movie. Survival without humanity is not really survival at all. In a quiet moment, Suan tells her father why she could not finish her song at school. She had learned it for him. But when she saw he was not there, she could not keep singing. Seok-woo finally understands how deeply he hurt his daughter. Then he gets another call. His company may have been connected to the biotech disaster. He realizes that the world outside the train is not just collapsing because of random bad luck. Greed, silence, and selfish decisions helped create this nightmare. For the first time, Seok-woo tells his employee that it is not his fault. But deep down, he knows he also has guilt to carry. Now his only chance to make things right is to save Suan. The train is forced to stop because the tracks are blocked. The conductor announces that he will try to find another train that can still move. The remaining survivors get off and cross the tracks, surrounded by abandoned trains and infected crowds. For a moment, it looks like they might escape, but the situation becomes worse again. The infected appear from every direction. The survivors are separated, chased, and forced to climb, run, and hide between trains. Yong-guk loses Jin-hee. The conductor tries to help. More people fall. Every new attempt to survive costs someone else their life. Finally, Seok Woo, Suan, and Seong Kyung reach a working locomotive. They are almost free, but the selfish businessman is still alive, and he brings the final danger with him. The businessman is infected, terrified, and desperate to get home. He attacks Seok Woo on the locomotive, trying to survive at any cost. Seok Woo fights him off and saves Suan and Seong Kyung, but during the struggle, he is bitten. At first, Suan does not understand what is happening. Then Seok Woo looks at his hand, and everything becomes clear. He knows he cannot stay with his daughter. So he teaches Seong Kyung how to stop the train when they reach safety. Then he turns to Suan and tells her to stay with Seong Kyung no matter what. Suan begs him not to leave. She says it is her fault. She cries for him to stay. But this time, Seok-woo does what a real father must do. He walks away before he can hurt her. As he changes, he remembers the day Suan was born. In his final human memory, he is not thinking about money, work, or success. He is thinking about his daughter, and then he lets go. Suan and Seong Kyung continue toward Busan. They walk through a dark tunnel, not knowing that soldiers are watching them from the other side. The soldiers cannot tell if they are infected. They are ordered to shoot. But then Suan begins to sing the song she could not finish before. This time she finishes it. The soldiers hear her voice and realize they are survivors. In the end, Seok Woo could not save everyone. He could not undo his past mistakes. But he saved his daughter, and he gave her a chance to live. Train to Busan is not only a zombie movie, it is a story about selfishness, fear, sacrifice, and what it really means to protect the people you love.